Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And this one is a very exciting one because I've never filmed this type of video. I was inspired by Sophie Alexandra. She made these videos just a while ago. I don't know when that was. I just recently rewatched some of her older content, and today we're gonna be looking at the palette battle tournament, and this is gonna be round one. So I'm gonna be using my Tiny Decisions app and randomly choosing two palettes that will like fight against each other, and I'm gonna pick the winner, and then all the palettes that are gonna be winners in this round are gonna move towards the second round, and eventually we'll pick one palette that is like the ultimate winner of this palette tournament. So I hope that makes sense. It's pretty easy concept to understand, and I can't wait because, I haven't done something like this, and I think it's a really cool way how to think about your product, kind of get reintroduced with some of the parts that I might have not forgotten that I have, but there's definitely products that I haven't used for a while because I've been focusing on different palettes. So this is gonna be really fun for me. It was horrible to put all of these palettes into the Tiny Decisions app because I have over 70 palettes. So, it took a while. But now we're here. And before I'm gonna get into the first two palettes, please like this video, comment down below which of your palettes would theoretically win this type of, I don't know, is it project? I don't know what this is. Let me know down below, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I do a lot of penning content, makeup diaries, I review a lot, and also I do these like collection type videos, so I would really appreciate having you here and be part of this community. And now let's jump right into it. So I have the spinning wheel over here, and we're gonna pick two palettes. I hope that let me see. Yeah, I don't want to repeat the like results, so yeah, I think everything is off, so it should be fine. And let's pick the two palettes. Okay, so so the first palette is Adventure Time, which is from Little Cosmetics. It's the Candy Kingdom palette and like the collaboration with Adventure Time. And then the second one is gonna be On Top of the World. Okay. I thought it's gonna be really easy when the Adventure Time showed up, but now I'm not sure. So let me get those two. Okay, so this is the On Top of the World from Cleonad. I just filmed my review not that long ago. I think it's like 10 days ago or something. And this is a all shimmer, like multi-chrome palette. You get 10 shades. These top ones are kind of also like a face highlighter. I mean, you can use most of these as face highlighter, to be honest, at least for me. Yeah, it's so pretty. And it's obviously like very rainbowy, prismatic, beautiful. And then we have the Little Cosmetics Adventure Time, which is a 20 pan. 24 24 pan palette, and I love this theming, and I love the inside of the palette because it's so fun. I mean, they have kind of similar vibe, like they're both very rainbowy, very fun, very cute, very like candy-like. But obviously this one gives you not just shimmers but mattes as well, and the shimmers are gorgeous. Like they're wonderful formula, so sparkly, so wet looking. I mean, like I will never choose an all matte palette as a winner. I am much more likely to choose like all shimmer palette as a winner, but also like, and I have a lot of these colors kind of in the Adventure Time palette. It's just the fact that I can actually do multiple different looks with this, whereas with this one, I'm like, I can do all shimmer look, no problem, but probably I'm gonna wear mattes with this one, and it's smaller, so it gives me less options. So yeah, I'm going with the Adventure Time, which right when we rolled this one in, I kind of was very certain that this is gonna win because it's genuinely one of my favorite palettes in my collection. I bought it this year. I've only had it for how long? I think I bought this before summer started, but I got this at the beginning of summer. I definitely know that I've reviewed it like middle of June, something like that. And it's gorgeous. You have so many different colors, so many different options, and I love these shades so much. So this one deserves to win. And this one is going into the second round. I don't know when I'm gonna film the second round, but I hope it's gonna be soon-ish. Like, I would like to film it within the next 2 weeks, preferably. Okay. Then, other two palettes. So first is gonna be Drops of Fantasy. Okay, that's a very strong pick. And it's gonna go against Nocturne. Okay. Why is it so hard? Why do I keep getting these like really hard options? Okay, so this is the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. I love this packaging. It's so cool. It's like a faux leather. And I have the mini version of this palette, which is perfectly fine for me because I don't actually need full-sized palettes since it takes forever to use an eyeshadow completely. And it's such a perfect autumnal palette. I have it in my autumnal eyeshadow palette collection. I haven't used it yet for this season, but I definitely want to. I could probably put it on my table and use it in the next week or two. But this one is so beautiful. You have greens, yellows, purples, kind of bluey shades and teals, and then these like neutral warm shades that I really, really enjoy. And like, although it is a small palette, you actually have a lot of different options, and I've loved all of the looks that I was able to create with this one. And I think I was reviewing it around this time last year, and I was just blown away by this. And how like versatile this color story is. What I really love to wear is the shade Fog, then this brown one called Gloom, and the shade Witching Hour, and then this shimmer all over the lid, it's called Luna, and Milky Way in the inner corner. It's just such a beautiful combo. So that's for the Nocturnal palette. And then against this one we have the DD Signature Drops of Fantasy. And this one is a beautiful 15 pan. This one is a very summery palette, also very colorful. And you have these kind of more like a pastel-y tones with these very like neon-y shades and these beautiful shimmers. And again, such a gorgeous formula. I was trying this, I think, right before the Adventure Time palette from Little. I think so. Like, I know that I was reviewing these not that far from each other. I just don't remember which one was first. And this is so good. Like, it's so incredibly beautiful. Let me take a look at both of them so that I can like really determine which one. I mean, they have similar kind of colors. It's just that this one is a little bit more gloomy and this one is a lot more like neon-y. And you know, like, I feel like this is the same color story. This one just is targeted towards like a summer mood, and this one is more like a autumnal mood, but it's like a similar color story, just a slightly different undertone of these colors. Which one am I feeling a little bit more? I love the Drops of Fantasy so much. So much. But I also really love the Nocturnal. This one is so tough. And we just started. I kind of like that this is a smaller palette, because for me it's easier to see all the colors and the different combinations I can do. Whereas with bigger palette, I sometimes get a little lost in the color story. But also this one has brighter tones, and I just prefer wearing brighter tones. This is so hard. Okay, I can't think too much about it, because then I would be here for forever. I think right now, and it might just be the fact that I have a new hair. Well, kind of new. It's been 2 weeks. But I'm really into these like pinky, berry, peachy tones, as you can clearly see from my makeup today. So I think I'm gonna pick the Drops of Fantasy. I love the Nocturnal palette though, but like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Drops of Fantasy. So this one is joining the Adventure Time palette. And it's gonna move to the next round. I'm so sad that the Nocturnal didn't go through, because she's so beautiful. Okay, next 2 palettes. So first of them is gonna be Mighty Monster. Okay, so that's Woden's Eye and Annette Oberstadt collaboration, and it's gonna battle against Polar Express from Nomad Cosmetics. Okay, they're both kind of bluey with warm tones, so that's interesting. Why is this so hard? Okay, so first up we have the Mighty Monster palette from Woden's Eye and Annette Oberstadt, or Annette's Makeup Corner. And this is how it looks like. It's been used quite a bit by me. And it has these beautiful like blue purpley tones, just as Annette loves, with these like very warm yellows and reds, with this beautiful orange shimmer. And then this like a neutral row. It's a really pretty color story. There's just something so fun about this. I do really enjoy this one. I haven't been able to use it too much this year, or maybe not at all. I'm not fully sure. But I'll have to actually make time to wear this at least a couple times this year, because I genuinely love this formula, and I love Woden's Eyes formula. And this one was the best from the whole collab line. Like this was the second time collaborating with Judy, Tina, and Annette, and this one was the best one out of all of the 3, and it's the only one that I've kept, even though I bought the entire bundle with all of them. And then we have the Nomad Cosmetics Polar Express, which I was reviewing around Christmas last year. And you have these beautiful blue tones, and then these like warm reddish browns. I think this palette would like rank higher for me if it was just a blue palette. Not that I have anything against the neutral shades, but for me, especially the 2 shimmers here are very lackluster, and I don't really need 2 of these shimmers either. So for me, what I would love is if we would keep this 9 pan, but exchange these 2 shimmers with maybe like the browns, or maybe just delete this part, like the last column, and switch this reddish one with maybe this shade, so that we would like have this reddish shade and then the rest of the color story. I feel like that would be a really nice and beautiful palette, because the blues in here and the white shade, they are so incredible. Like, they're definitely the star of the show. The neutrals, maybe it's just the fact that I don't like neutrals, but they feel very lackluster, and I wasn't enjoying them. I was quite impressed with the shade Hot Cocoa because that one is a really nice tone and it looks beautiful with the shade Polar Express, which is this beautiful duochrome, like purpley, pinky, blue, teal. It has a lot of different shades and it's one of the most impressive shades, but for me I actually love the matte white and this light blue matte even more. They're just so good. Like, I didn't know Nomad can do something this incredible, and I do like their mattes, but this is just beyond. This is just beyond. So this one is great, but can it really compete with Uden's Ice Formula? I have way more variety with the like Uden's Ice palette, and also they have better shimmers. Even though the shimmers here are quite nice, some of them, it's not as good as Uden's Ice, so I'm gonna have to pick Mighty Monster. It's, for me, Nomad is very nice brand because they have beautiful palettes, really fun color stories. They're not too expensive, and I love their themes and their like causes and all that. But realistically, I know that they're not as great of a quality as maybe like the Little or Uden's Eye or I don't know, like Fantasy Cosmetica DD Signature. Like, they're just not on that level, but they're also not in the same price range. And you are also like donating to certain like causes and like rescue I don't know, programs and stuff like that. So I think that's what's really amazing about this brand. And yeah, we're gonna put the Polar Express back to my collection. And then let's roll in 2 new contenders. Contestants, sorry. I don't know what I said. So, first up is the Fall Magic palette, which I actually have on my eyes today. So I might be a little bit biased. And it's gonna go against Ireland, also from Nomad. I do have quite a bit of Nomad palettes somehow. So let me get those two. Okay, so the Fall Magic palette is from Unearthly. It's a 12 pan. Yeah, 12 pan palette. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful autumnal color stories that I've ever seen. It's exactly everything that I want to wear this time of the year. And it's just such a good quality. Unearthly has, in my opinion, like, it's right in between, for example, Nomad and the other brands that I've mentioned previously, like, you know, Fantasy Cosmetica and DD Signature and stuff like that, because they have really beautiful, impactful, great formulas that aren't too hard to use. Because sometimes for these, like, for my favorite indie brands, I like them so much because of their shimmers, because mattes are quite easy to formulate to make them like really good, but shimmers, that's where it's a little bit more complicated, especially for the formula that I like, which is that kind of really sparkly but looking beautiful, fair-like type of shimmer formula. And what Unearthly does amazingly is that their shimmers look just as wonderful as, like, you know, Fantasy Cosmetica, Bella Beauty Bar, these kind of brands, but they stay on a bit nicer on the eyes. They don't crease, and they're just a little bit more, like, it's a softer formula that I feel like works better on more people, especially if you have either very hooded eyes, very creasy eyelids. I feel like their formula just works better for that, and it's just as impactful and just as beautiful. And they're all magnetic shades as well, which is another plus point for me, because I like to kind of change my shades around, move them around, create my own color stories. So this one is great. And then we have the Nomad Cosmetics Ireland Wild Atlantic Way, which is a beautiful all green palette, or mostly green. You have a couple of these like more like yellow shades, and then some of these more bluey shades, but otherwise it's very, very green palette. And it's a great formula. I'm actually quite surprised with a lot of these shimmers because they are actually quite sparkly. And for Nomad, usually they have like 2 or 3 really nice shimmers in their palettes, but then the rest are kind of satiny and a little bit lackluster. But this one actually has a really nice shimmers, like all of them are quite pretty. Maybe with some of them I don't love their undertones as much, but the actual way that they look on the eyes is really pretty. But it's very monochromatic, and this is an 18 pan, which I feel like is too much for a monochromatic palette. Like if you do monochromatic 9 pan or maybe even 12 pan, it's okay, but something this big should have more variety. Like you have 3 very similar mid-tone greens, you have 3 quite similar deeper greens. Yes, they're slightly different undertone and depth, but on the eyes it's gonna look very similar. Even some of the shimmers are kind of, you know, like this goldy, and this one is a little bit more orangey, but that's about it. And again, on the eyes you just won't see as much of a difference. So if this was just a 12 pan or 9 pan, I would absolutely adore this, but for something this big I would just assume, or I would just want a bit more variety, you know, maybe a little bit more earthy tones, maybe one more blue or a light teal, like kind of pastel-y teal, you know, something else, something to spice it up. So this round is actually gonna go towards the Fall Magic palette. This one is a winner, and it's joining the previous palettes because I just really enjoyed this one. I also have 1 pan already on this palette, and it just gives me so many different beautiful options. Like I can go towards pink, berry, brown, and green, and I love these shimmers. They just stretch over pretty much anything you're gonna come up with this color story. They're very beautiful, they're very sparkly and very multi-chromy. They're all like at least duochromes. I would say that most of them are multi-chromes. Maybe the green one is on like a slight duochrome because it just shifts to this more like a goldy shade. And then the base is like a deep green, kind of more like a pine green. But otherwise they're all really shifty. So that's for these two. And let's continue so that we're not here for 30 million years. So it's gonna be Flower Punk. I don't know why it says pink, but it's Flower Punk from Kaleidos, and it's going against the Avatar: The Last Airbender Air palette from Little. So that will be interesting. Okay, so the Flower Punk palette is from Kaleidos. As I said, it has this really cool design where it, like, the entire top part is magnetic and it attaches like that, and you have a mirror here. I bought this secondhand. I wanted to have this one for a really long time, but when I learned that this palette exists, it was already not available for purchase on their website, so I got this secondhand at the beginning of this year, I believe, and I've only used this twice. So I don't know much about it. The color story is really fun. You have these like pinky shades, this really like minty greens, and then really warm greens. I do enjoy this color story a lot. I think it's a really fun little twist. But as I said, I haven't really used it too much. On the other hand, the Avatar: The Last Airbender Air palette from Litlo, I have all 4 of those Avatar palettes. This one is my favorite from them, so that can already be a little hint. And it's just such a beautiful color story. It's like if I were to make a neutral palette, this is what I would come up with probably. It's like neutral but really fun and really cute, and really like it's interesting for me to play with this and to try this, and all of these shades are so beautiful. So this one's definitely gonna win, just because I know the formula a lot better and I like the color story a lot more. So that's for the Avatar: The Last Airbender Air palette, and we're gonna put Kaleidos back into my collection. And the next up So we have the Nightshade palette from Gourmand Girls against the Winter Wonderland from Cosmic Beauty. The Nightshade from Gourmand Girls. This one is a gorgeous color, so it's like a purple, green, and yellow. So this is how it looks like. It's a really fun 14 pan. Is it a 14 pan? Now I just realized that I don't know. Yeah, it's a 14 pan. It's a wonderful color story. I really love this one. I've made some beautiful looks with this. It's absolutely stunning. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It's a great palette. It's just genuinely a great palette. And I love this color story very, very much. It is getting a little bit older because I think I've had it for 2 years now. And I haven't used it too much this year. I've used it a lot when I first bought it, and then like in the next couple of months, because it was just such a like a revelation to me. But I need to get more. I need to get back into using this one because I think it deserves it. And then we have the Cosmic Beauty Winter Wonderland palette, which is the most beautiful cool toned palette that you could ask for, in my opinion. It is really great. There are 2 shades that aren't the best, in my opinion, and now I don't remember which ones those were, but I'm pretty sure that it was the shade Calm, because it wasn't as pigmented and kind of stained my eyes. And there was one more. Oh yeah, the Icicle, because this one was hard panning for me. But I feel like now it's okay. I think it was just when I first got it. Otherwise, this is beautiful. I love the multichromes, especially the Winter Solstice. That one is gorgeous. The Wonderland shade, beautiful. Frost, I love this one. It's one of my favorite inner corners in my entire collection because it's just so beautifully like bluey, tealy. Absolutely stunning. I love this one. And I'm kind of getting slowly more into like the cool tone blue mood, so I'm gonna go with this one, even though it is like monochromatic, but you have so many different options and so many different tones, and I always love the looks that I create with this. It's a beautiful formula. It's one of my favorite palettes from Cosmic Beauty. Yeah, I think the only one that beats this is the Delicious Delights. To be honest, I do really like the Muse as well, but I feel like it's Delicious Delights, this one, and then the Muse. Like, that's just my ranking of my Cosmic Beauty palettes. So I'm giving it to the Winter Wonderland, and the Nightshade is going back to my collection. And then another 2 palettes. So we have, we're not even halfway through them. We have the Serpent. Okay, so that's Mika Beauty Shop. Against, and that one is very well used, against Niebeski from Glam Shop. Okay, so let me get those 2. Okay, so Serpent from Mika Beauty Shop is absolutely gorgeous all year round, just the most perfect palette. I wouldn't mind making this my Panda palette for one of the years. Like, it's not gonna be next year, but maybe after that. I wouldn't mind that because it's beautiful. It's been in my collection for a while now. It was one of the few first palettes in my collection. Like, not the first, but it was at the beginning of this channel. So it can be even 3 years old now, actually. And I have multiple pans. I have like 4 pans in this one, and it's a great color story. You have these really neon-y shades, beautiful wet looking shimmers, and gorgeous like earthier matte shades. Really enjoyed this one. And then next up we have the Niebeski 2020, which is from Glam Shop, and it's a all blue palette. This one is gorgeous. It's kind of like a small version of the Winter Wonderland. I love this color story. I love these shades. They are so beautiful, especially the shade Pariski. It's to die for. And then the shade Niebeski. And those are my most used shades of this palette. I also love Shafiri. This one is so deep and so beautiful and so juicy, and it goes from this like purpley blue to like a teal blue, or like very like turquoisey and then teal. So pretty, but it's kind of like a one trick, well, 2 trick pony kind of. Whereas this one gives me all the shades that I wear the most, and I clearly really love it because I mean, it's one of the older palettes in my collection, so obviously it's gonna be more used because A, it's been here for a long time, and also I've had it in a period where I only had like, I don't know, 11 palettes and I have 70, so it's obviously, I don't go through them as often as I would when I only had like 12 palettes in my collection. But I'm still gonna pick my Serpent palette from Mika Beauty Shop. And this one's going back to the collection. And the next two palettes are gonna be, I have to speed this up a bit because otherwise we're genuinely gonna be here for 4 hours. So we have the Linz palette with Blum Bunny. It's a collaboration, come on. And then the next one is gonna be the Manifestation from V Cosmetics. Okay, those are like polar opposites and you're gonna see why in a minute. Okay, so the Blum Bunny and Linz is a very colorful, mostly matte palette with only 2 shimmers, and they're worth it. Like, the shimmers are gorgeous in this one. I think the best shimmers that Blum Bunny has ever made. To be honest, I only have 4 palettes from Blum Bunny, and only 3 of them have shimmers in them. But it's a gorgeous palette, and I do really like this one, and you can do so much with it. And then we have the V Cosmetics Manifestation, and the reason why they're polar opposite, so this one only has 2 shimmers, and this one has 3 matte shades, and the rest are shimmers. And this is a beautiful formula. Again, such a gorgeous shimmer formula from V Cosmetics, and the mattes are stunning, and I'll always choose shimmers over matte shades. So even though I adore the Linz palette, I mean, not upside down, adore this palette so much, I just have to give it to the shimmers. Like, these are so wonderful. Photos do not do this justice. I genuinely am speechless every single time I see it. And this holochrome, like silvery shade, so pretty. So I have to give it to the Manifestation palette. It deserves it. It's beautiful. I truly love it. And Linz is going back to my collection, but I've used it a lot in the past couple of weeks, so it's fine. I think she'll survive it. And then we have the Pokemon palette, okay, from Colourpop, and the Moonwish. So that's the Oden's Eye Salmon and Moonwish palette. Okay, so let me grab those. I have no clue what's gonna win in this with these two. Like, I kind of like them similarly, so okay, so Colourpop Pokemon. I love Pokemon. It's you know, I'm obsessed with Pokemon, and this is how it looks like. So it's a very beautiful rainbow palette. You have kind of every single color you could possibly want. They're very beautiful, very fun, cute shades that I genuinely enjoy. A lot of these shimmers are actually not original to this palette, but I've swapped them around because I don't enjoy shimmer formula from Colourpop, but I do actually kind of like their glitter formulas because their glitters are so fine that it almost seems like other brands' shimmers. And they have one really beautiful shimmer here, which is called Evolution. This one is original to this one, and that one is really nice. But otherwise, well, I mean, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmers that aren't original to this palette. Actually, haven't swapped too many of them, so yeah, that's for this one. Beautiful. I do really enjoy it. And I think I've used this palette like for, I don't know, 35 looks maybe. So I have worn it multiple times. And then there's the Solmona 2 Moonwish palette from Oden's Eye, and this one is a very starry sky type of color story because it has these beautiful purples, blues, but they're like very, not like warm, but like, you know, it's definitely not like fully cool toned palette. I would say that all of these shades are quite warm toned. And you have a couple of neutral options here, and those beautiful goldy champagne shades as well. I love this color story, and I think it's also the season, because I usually gravitate towards color stories like these in the like last 4 months of the year. For some reason, I really like these. But it's a bit more monochromatic than the Colourpop palette, but at the same time, like, isn't the Pokemon slightly too big? And also the formula is better with Uden's Eye, and I mean, I love Pokemon so much, but I love this artwork and the whole like color story and everything. If like for every day, I would probably go for the Pokemon, because like I would never get bored. I can always do different color. So in that sense, it's definitely better option for me. But my eyes are kind of wandering towards this one, so I'm gonna choose the Salmonette Moonwish palette. It's gorgeous, and I need to use it more now because I haven't really touched it too much. I mean, at the beginning of the year I did use it a bit, also because one of the shades was in my Pendos eyeshadows, but otherwise I haven't really touched it too much, and it's a great palette. It's wonderful. So this one is moving forward, and we kind of towards the middle point. 3, 6, 9. No, we're not. I thought we could be getting somewhere, but we're not. Okay, next we have the Fire palette from the Avatar: The Last Airbender collection, and the Spring Magic palette from Unearthly. Okay, so Fire and Spring Magic. Let me get those. I think we're gonna do a couple more palettes, and then I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna do part 2. I'm gonna film it tomorrow, and you know, because this video would be 2 hours long, so I think I'm gonna split this in 2 parts, and then next will be the second round, third round, and I think that's, and then we'll have the finale. So it's gonna be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, I think. Yeah, because I have way too many palettes, and this would take forever. I think we're already at like 40 minutes or something. Yeah, 42 minutes. Okay, so we have the Avatar: The Last Airbender Fire palette. Now this one is very much just like reds, warm tones with these warm tone browns. I do actually like these browns quite a bit, with this more like a silvery shade, and then this kind of orangey shimmer. I actually found out that I do enjoy that sometimes, like for a very specific mood. I would go towards these, just because I usually don't wear red shades, and if I do, I pair them with either pinks or yellows, which obviously I don't have that in this palette. So when I'm using this palette for the mattes, I usually go more towards the neutrals than the red one. It's kind of like a strange thing for me. But otherwise it's beautiful, and the shimmers here are stunning, and it's such a great formula. But this one is probably my least favorite out of the 4, just because of the red shade and the fact that the rest is kind of neutral. And then we have the Spring Magic from Unearthly, and this one is one of my favorite palettes from my collection. It's just such a perfect spring palette. You have these pastel shades, these light shades. It's kind of slightly desaturated, very like cooler toned leaning, and it's so beautiful. I got this as a gift from one of my friends because she didn't want hers. So yeah, it's so nice. It's so great. I have so many dips. I have one pan here, and I just love this one. So I think it's pretty obvious which one's gonna win, and it's gonna be the Spring Magic palette. So this one, and then another two palettes. So it's the Avatar: The Last Airbender water palette against the Monk palette. Oh, I don't have to get up, they're right behind me. Okay, so they're both 9 pans, which that will be kind of slightly interesting. And I'm gonna start with the water since it was rolled in first. So another one of these mini ones, and this one is really pretty. The blue shades and the white shades are just so good. You have two kind of neutrally shades, which I normally don't like blues with neutrals. And when I first got this palette, I was really not like unhappy about it, but I just, you know, I knew that I'm not gonna use these neutrals with the blues. But this year I tried wearing neutrals with blue shades a couple times and I didn't hate it. So it's not my favorite combination, but it's a combination that I can wear, which is not something that I thought would be possible a year ago when I got this palette. So it's beautiful. I love the formula of this and it looks stunning on the eyes. And it's very, like, it is so water type. I have to give them that. Like, I, even if I don't appreciate or I don't normally go towards the neutrals in this palette, it is very water type, so I get it. And I'm losing my voice. And then we have the Monk palette. This one is the warmest palette in my collection, probably. It's all sorts of different kinds of yellows and oranges. Some of them are slightly similar, at least in the pan. I feel like on the eyes they are different, even in the swatches. Like I can see difference because, for example, this one is a lot more yellow and this one is a lot more orange and this one is kind of more pastel-y. So even though I feel like it's the background of the palette, like it just makes them look very similar to each other, but in reality they're not as similar. Yeah, and this one looks way more brown on the eyes than it does in the pan, so that's also another thing to mention. But I guess this one is very much monochromatic and a lot of them will look very similar, whereas with this one I feel like I'm getting a little bit more variety, also because I have some really deep shades and really light shades, so I have a little bit more variety than in here. And also I feel like the only inner corner shade for me is the shade Flow, but sometimes that one is too goldy, like too dark of a gold. I don't know, maybe I can swatch it for you. As you can see, like it sometimes feels like it's too much for inner corner, and a lot of the times I would actually use different shades, like from different palettes, in my inner corner, whereas with this palette I can just use it on its own and it's gonna create an entire look. So somehow the Monk is getting eliminated from this and we're just gonna continue with the water palette. So it's gonna join the air one, and I think we're gonna roll in the last two palettes for this video because I'm genuinely losing my voice. So we have the Frogtails. Okay, I don't like that one too much. I'm kind of thinking about decluttering that one. And then Spooked. Oh, so this is gonna be really quick. Let me get those. Okay, so the Mia Makeup Frogs, the Frog's Tail palette. I do love the packaging. I love the idea behind it. But I've scraped the two glitter shades because I don't like glitter in my palettes, and I do like the color story. It's not that it's a bad color story. I have two pans in this, like in the blue and in this one. I'm very close to hitting pan on this one and this one, so I might try to do that eventually this year. But apart from that, I don't know, I'm not as excited about this one as I was when I bought it. I feel like it's just quite similar to my other palettes, and this one is kind of like the Nocturnal palette with the bottom part, but then it has this like boring neutral corner over here that I don't appreciate too much. And I feel like the moment that, yeah, like ever since I noticed that it has kind of similar vibe, at least the bottom part has a similar vibe to me as the Nocturnal, I wasn't as excited about this palette because I like Nocturnal way more than this. So that's for the Mia Makeup. It's not that it's a bad palette, it's actually quite nice. Like, if I would rank it just by the formulas and the quality, it would still be very, well, not very high up, because I have wonderful formulas all across my collection. I kind of weeded out all the bad palettes that I ever bought, because I don't keep them. Like, if I notice that the palette isn't good, I just immediately get rid of it and find somebody who will enjoy it. But it's still a good formula. And then we have the Gourmand Girls Spokes palette. This was a collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny. I have multiple pans because it's been used quite a bit, and also it was in one of my levels for the Project Level Up, but it would get pans anyways because I've been using this one a lot, and it's just one of my favorite palettes in my collection. Again, I do really like this one, and this one just, again, has a lot of variety. It has these beautiful olivey browns, greens, peaches, oranges, reddy and like berry shades. You have matte white and a matte black. So this one is definitely winning. I love this one. And it's one of the older palettes in my collection, so it's also kind of nostalgic. I know how long I've waited for this one to get to Monolith and then buy it, and it made me so happy when it finally came. I think this was my first Monolith order, actually. Yeah, I believe it might have been my first Monolith order with this one. And then I think I bought this one. Then I think I bought from Give Me Glow the like the pumpkin haunted, how was it called? It had like a pumpkin on the packaging. I didn't keep that palette for very long because it wasn't a quality that I was enjoying. And I think there was one more palette with this. Oh, maybe it was the Shroud Hello Bean palette. I think I bought all of these at the same launch, but it's so long ago that I'm not fully sure. Anyways, this one is moving forward. We have 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. Yeah, we already have 10 palettes in front of me, which means we're almost halfway done through my collection, because 10, that means like 20 palettes, and yeah, I have 70. I should do a couple more. Okay, 2 more. So we're gonna find the Chromebook. Yeah, Chromebook. And Smitten. Ooh. Okay, that will be interesting. So Diaverns, Smitten, and DD Signatures Chromebook Volume 2. And for these two, so the DD Signature Chromebook Volume 2 is predominantly a shimmer palette. You have 12 shimmers. Yeah, 12 shimmers and then 3 matte shades, and they're kind of like a darker shade. So you have one kind of eggplanty shade, then this very vibrant purple, and then this deeper kind of like a mossy green. And the shimmers are absolutely stunning. They're all very shifty, beautiful, sparkly, wet looking. They look gorgeous on the eyes, and they don't crease at all. They're genuinely great formula. And then we have the Diabrune Cosmetics Smitten palette. This one is a little bit more monochromatic, like it's kind of more like a cooler pinky berry gray color story with these beautiful shimmers. I do enjoy this one a lot. I've worn it a lot because it was in my Project 20 uses this year, and it's genuinely a wonderful formula. I love this blue shade, the Catastrophe. It's such a great blue. Let me take a look at both of them. I feel like I'm leaning towards the Chromebook just because I have more options with that one, and because otherwise the quality is just as great. Maybe the other one has slightly better matte formula, but I think the shimmer formula is very comparable. But I have a bit more options with the Chromebook Volume 2 from DD Signature, so I think I will choose this one. And also, it's a shimmer palette. I just love my shimmers, okay? So I'm gonna choose this one. I'm quite certain about it. So that's the Chromebook. And last roll-ins, so we're gonna get the Midsummer Moons. Yeah, Midsummer Moons from V Cosmetics, and Dragon Eye from Matcha Beauty. And I feel like that's around half of the palettes from my collection. So let me get those last two. And with these two, I'm already pretty certain what I will choose, even though I haven't opened them yet, because one just has a lot better quality than the other. So I'm gonna start. Oh my god, my battery is going to die. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the V Cosmetics Midsummer Moons palette, which I love the layout. I love the fact that you have these like little crescent moon shaped bands. The shimmers, the eyeshadows inside these crescent moon pans aren't as great. It might be also the pressing issue, but these big pans are really stunning. I love this color story. It's very Halloweeny, and I love that color story, obviously. So this is a great palette. It's a great color story. Just some of these mattes, and then also the two shimmers that are in the crescent moon shapes. They are kind of lackluster. And then we have this beautiful small little palette from What's Up Beauty. This is my only What's Up Beauty palette, but I found one of their, I think it's the Desert no, the, how's it called? One of their palettes I was able to find secondhand, and I think I'm gonna get that because I really like their formulas. So this is the Dragon Eye, which is gorgeous. I already have like 4 pans here, and I love this one. It's so beautiful. The matte shades are very smooth, very nice. These are made in Italy, very good quality, and the shimmers are so sparkly, so beautiful, so shifty. I genuinely love these very much. So this one's a winner. Like that's a clear winner. I absolutely adore this. It's one of my favorite palettes in my collection. Like it would definitely be in my top 10. And I love dragons. I love reptiles in general. Like I just love them so much, and dragons are my favorite. So, and this packaging, like, do you see that? And the eye, and it's just the most stunning palette ever created, in my opinion. Like I think the only palette that could compete with this one when it comes to the design is my Fuji 5 Legs from Nomad, because that is another like work of art. Otherwise, yeah, like it's, anyways, it's just gorgeous. I can't spend too much time on this. So this one is going back to my collection, and I'm gonna stop this video here. Let me know what you thought about my picks so far, and the second part of my collection will be in part 2. I hope I'm gonna release that soon. I'm gonna film it tomorrow for me, so I hope within like a week I can squeeze it in and finish the round 1, and then in a couple days or within like the next 2 weeks I'm gonna do round 2, round 3, and then I think we're gonna be able to do the round 4 and finale with the last video. I'm gonna have to like figure that out, because obviously I haven't counted really like how much it's gonna take, how many videos it's gonna take, so I'm gonna have to think about that. But as I said, I'm gonna end this video here, so let me know down below what your picks would be, and what would be like your favorite absolute like winner palette of your collection. And thank you so much for watching. I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So bye guys.